If you're on the market for an affordable pair of leather football boots, you should have the Nike Premier 3 on your radar. At the $100 price point, this is really one of the best value boots that you can get. So in this review, we're going to cover all of the features of the Nike Premier 3 that I've been playing in for the past year to see if they're going to be the right boots for you. At the end of the video, I'll also show you how the Nike Premier stacks up against its competition to see how it compares. If you're interested in picking up a pair of these boots at the end of the video, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get them with a discount code through the Upper 90 website. Now let's get into the review. So let's start by talking about the design of the Nike Premier 3. So I have these boots in a pure platinum colorway here that has these nice gold accents, which I really like. And there's also these cool little designs that are found on both the sole plate and the heel of the boot, which I think add a really nice touch as well. As I mentioned, these boots do feature a full leather construction. It's kangaroo leather all throughout the entire upper, all through the heel and the tongue. One thing you'll notice about the Nike Premier 3 when you're looking at it online is that these boots do ship with a cool retro fold over tongue. However, I opted to remove this tongue, as you can see here. Now Nike does make this very easy to do. They actually provide a dotted line throughout the tongue, so it's very easy for you to cut it off if you're interested in that. I think that removing the fold over tongue gives them a really clean and sleek look, just a little bit more modern. So that's what I opted to do, and honestly, after cutting it, you can hardly notice that the fold over tongue was there to begin with. It's really going to be about personal preference if you decide to keep it or remove it. The lacing system on the Nike Premier 3 is a very traditional one. It provides great lockdown and has your foot feeling very secure in the boots. The sole plate on the Premier 3 is very simple as well, featuring just pretty short conical studs that are going to be great for both firm ground and artificial grass surfaces. If you're like me and you have to play on AG pitches a lot, this is a really great feature. It's one of the reasons that I tend to prefer boots that have conical studs. So now that we've talked a little bit about the design, let's talk about the build quality of the Nike Premier 3. So I've found that the leather used on these football boots is incredibly soft, and in my opinion, it's actually softer than a lot of its competitors. I've played in both the Copa Mundials and the Nike Tiempo Legend 9, and I find that the kangaroo leather on the Nike Premier 3 is actually softer than both of those boots. I found that after a year of playing in these boots as well, the stitching has held up, it's been pretty durable, and I don't really notice any parts of the boots breaking apart or falling apart. Adding on to that, I haven't really noticed much sole separation with the Premier 3 either. This is something that you run into with a lot of different football boots when you're playing with them for over a season, up to 2 or 3 seasons. The sole of the boot will start to separate from the upper, but with these boots, after a year of really hard use, honestly, they seem to still be intact. Now, I will note one thing about the build here. These are probably the heaviest boot that Nike does offer on the top end, and they are about an ounce heavier than the similar Nike Tiempo Legend. However, you know, they're only about an ounce different, and I don't notice much of a difference when I'm wearing them on feet. It's not like they're gonna slow you down, and when you're sprinting, it's really hard to notice any difference at all. And speaking of how the boots feel on feet, let's move on to the fit and feel of the Nike Premiers. So as I've said already, I find these boots extremely comfortable and they fit really well straight out of the box, and I didn't notice any break-in time required whatsoever. They also run true to size. I wear a 10.5 and that size fits perfect for me. Another feature that I like is that the Premiers tend to have a pretty consistent width throughout, and they don't taper too aggressively towards the toe box, which is an issue I find in a lot of other modern boots. So for me, as a wide-footed player, these boots fit very well. I will note that because of the natural leather construction, these boots do tend to stretch a little bit, so if they come all the way up to your toes when you first try them on, after playing in them for a few months, you may notice a little bit of extra room in the boots. But generally, over time, the fit of these boots does tend to improve just because they're leather. If I were to call out just one area of the fit and feel where I think the Nike Premier could improve, I would say there's a small bit of stud pressure when you're wearing these boots, especially compared to the other boots in this category, like the Tiempo Legend 9 or the Copa Mundial. But I only noticed that difference in stud pressure when trying on these boots right next to each other. when you're wearing them on the field, it's not something that you're going to notice too much. On the whole, I do think they are one of the more comfortable pairs of football boots that you can get on the market right now. And speaking of other boots on the market, let's talk about some of the competitors to the Nike Premier 3. So although the Premier is a great all-around football boot, there is a lot of competition in the leather football boot space. Some boots like the Adidas Copa Mundial and the Mizuno Morelia are probably going to be a little bit more durable than the Nike Premier 3. Additionally, another boot from Nike like the Tiempo Legend 9 is going to be a little bit lighter weight and have more features, such as an elasticated tongue and a more aggressive sole plate. However, all of those boots that I just mentioned are $50 to $100 more expensive than the Nike Premier 3, so you would expect more features out of them. One of the only top-end leather football boots that's priced the same as the Nike Premier 3 is the Adidas Copa Gloro, and in my opinion, the Premier 3 just feels higher quality and fits better on feet. So when you evaluate the Premier against other leather football boots at the same price point, I think it comes out on top. And finally, who would I recommend the Nike Premier 3 to? So I would recommend these boots for anyone looking for a high quality and affordable leather football boot. I'd also recommend them to any player who likes something with a more modern design, but also wants to have a really comfortable and durable fit. And overall, I can definitely say that I've enjoyed playing in these boots for the past year. So let me know what you think. Have you had a chance to try on the Nike Premier 3? If so, what's your opinion on it? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.